All right. Welcome in, boys. We are live. Take it to the bank, Dover. NASCAR podcast on NUKE House YouTube. Got my guy Coop with me as always. I am Keg. Coop, how you doing, my guy?
Well, I think the Bears were big winners last night.
Don't start.
I think
Are we starting with the NFL?
I think the Chiefs were big winners.
Yeah.
The Cardinals, I think, did well.
How about the Minnesota Vikings?
The losers, number one loser.
Yeah.
Who's your number one loser?
I don't understand the Penix call at 8 with Cousins on the board. So I guess I'll say that. But my stance is the fact that Nix, McCarthy, and Penix went in the top 12 picks is fucking nothing short of astonishing. Astonishing.
Yeah.
That's my thoughts.
I think Minnesota, Buffalo, Atlanta were my second, third, and fourth losers. They're horrible.
Who's your number one loser?
I think the biggest loser.
Don't say the Jets, because that would be hurtful.
No. Justin Fields.
Justin Fields was the biggest loser because so many quarterbacks went in the first round, you think?
No, because look at what he could have had.
Oh. Yeah, but they all hate him.
And look at what he's going to.
Nobody gives him any credit.
He's going to a system that I don't even know if it's going to work for him. And two, I don't even know how much time he's going to get to play.
My favorite part about the draft last night was that I get to break Johnny's balls about this kid for the next 3 years. That was my favorite part. I'm telling you right now, Coop, if the Minnesota Vikings hit a home run and like JJ McCarthy is fucking Tom Brady, I'm gonna kill myself.
And I think another big loser is Drake May. Yeah, and I don't mean it by like his ability or potential, but like he has nobody to work with, man. Nobody.
Yeah.
I mean, his situation is just so hard. It didn't matter what quarterback got drafted. You know, it's just going to be tough in New England.
I didn't
have right now.
I didn't think that there would be a better wide receiver room in the NFL than Houston, but boy, oh boy. I mean, the Bears are fucking DJ Moore, Keenan Allen, Rome.
Yeah, they all and like everybody keeps talking about them and Komet and everything, but nobody mentions Swift. Swift can catch the ball out of the backfield, man.
Yeah. He could.
You know. So like he didn't a lot with Philly, but when he was with, Detroit, that's what he was doing. You know. So I don't know. And I think another loser is Neighbors. Like
Danny Dimes is tough.
Yeah.
Danny Dimes is tough.
Whereas like
so good though.
I told myself, man, like the Cardinals, I think they had a good draft. They took that defensive guy from Florida State with their second pick. But man, I'm sitting there telling myself, like, you've got to take Xavier Worthy. If you get Xavier Worthy,
I can't believe KC got that kid.
Yeah,
he is.
Not only that, they robbed him from Buffalo.
He's a lightning bolt. That kid.
Mm-hmm.
He's a lightning bolt.
Yeah, he is. Mahomes just the rich get richer. and it's like all these teams, man, like that just pick in the 20s and on year after year after year. It just shows you how much better their front office is because they're getting the right players for their systems.
My guy Johnny's catching all the strays. It's not right. Tommy said, listen, bro. All right. The kid buries me every fucking week on stream. All right. Don't break my balls. All right, Coop. Talladega.
See, I brought up football so we wouldn't have to talk about Talladega.
Yeah, Talladega was a rough one. I mean, we know what to expect when you got the car that's in first place on the final lap on a super speedway. It never goes well, ever. So
I think it's gone a lot better, and with the new car though. But
maybe
Dow, I mean, he had to go up, he had to block, and unfortunately, he went up probably about 4 or 5 feet more than what he needed to. Got too close to the wall.
Yeah, he
overcorrected. Yeah,
100%.
He was on that, little where it slanted a little bit down there and lost it. I mean,
I
you
agree.
can't blame the guy. That's what he had to do. It just was a bad move, unfortunately, on his part.
I think that if he wasn't so drastic with that overcorrection, he might have held on. But
he would have.
Of course, Tyler Reddick sneaks through. Like Noah Gragson had so much real estate in front of him, couldn't get him home at 40-1. Obviously not. And Tyler Reddick, man, fucking Tyler Reddick's having a good year so far. So we did not cash Talladega. I mean, it is what it is. The fact that we cashed Daytona 2 years in a row is probably enough luck for you and I for a couple of years on a super speedway. But yeah, it is what it is. Now we turn our attention to the Monster Mile, Coop. The one and only, the unique Dover. No other track like it in the sport. We're in the intermediate package. How many we've been at Texas in the intermediate, we've been at Vegas in the intermediate, we've been at Bristol because they run the intermediate. And then is this the fourth track that they run the intermediate at, right? So
you're coming out of it hard tonight, man. You get it all.
Come on, Coop.
All laid out.
I'm not just another pretty face, bro. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I don't know what to make of Bristol. I mean, I guess if you ran well in that package at Bristol, great. But, like, I don't know how that applies to Dover at all. I don't know how anything applies to Dover, really. It really is a one of one where like, there's no comp, right?
I mean, the closest one would be Bristol because of the banking, and it's a half mile shorter. But I don't know how much you could take into what we saw at Bristol and compare it to Dover because of the tire issues that
right.
we had in Bristol. So
right.
I think there is one that I'll get to later that might correlate well. Driver, we'll have to wait and see.
So
I'm sure you'll tell me no, I'm not doing it. No way.
I know you're gonna say. I already know who you're gonna say. I already know you're gonna say Ty Gibbs, and I'm gonna tell you to shut the fuck up because we're not betting Ty Gibbs. Yeah, that's gonna happen. Probably. All right. So
dude, he was so fast at Bristol.
Yeah, I'm sure he was, Coop, until he's not.
Well, the reason that he's not isn't going to be a reason at Dover because they're not going to have tire wear at Dover.
Ostradamus says, can somebody please clarify what catching a stray means? It means like catching a stray bullet, like taking a shot when it's not warranted or you haven't done anything to ask for it. But if you watch the live shows, Jonathan Bravo literally puts me in a fucking casket any chance he can. So sometimes you just gotta fucking ride the kid. He's my friend. He's always going to be my friend. Sometimes got to get ridden. All right, Coop. So manufacturers, I look at this race and I say there's probably one Ford, maybe, that could win the race. We'll get to them, but I think there's probably one Ford that can win the race. I would probably, I know Marty's so good here, but I would put Chevy probably ahead of Toyota. And I do think that Toyota's probably going to be good. We know what Tyler Reddick's done in this package this year. You talked about Ty Gibbs. We know Marty and Denny in this intermediate package have been basically lights out in the next gen car, period. But yeah, I think I would rank it Chevy, Toyota, even with all due respect to Marty, and then Ford third. Where are you at?
Yeah, no disagreement there.
No disagreement there. Okay. All right. Let's pull up the odds.
I might think though that no, they're the same. Never mind.
I'm not going off these odds. Hold on. Let me pull up Bet365. All right. Your odds on favorite, Kyle Larson, 4.5 to 1. I sent out a tweet today. If you look at the laps led this year, he's first, and then I think it's like Marty and Denny. But from like third place back, he's got a 300 laps led lead on everybody else at a minimum this year. So, I mean, obviously he's been very good. I expect HMS to be a major player this weekend. I assume you do too. The number is short. He shouldn't be 4.5 to 1 here, but you got to respect him. I mean, I wouldn't bet him at that number, but if you can get the number up, I'm all for him this week. Where you at?
Oh, definitely. Had a good car here last year, and ended up with some trouble. But he's always fast on the 1.5 mile package. So I don't know if this is a huge, great track for him. It's solid track. He's got so many good ones now. But just being an HMS at this track, you've got to, you can't leave him out. You got to get on him somehow.
I'm with you. After him, Marty, 6 to 1. Marty's a beast at Dover. I think he's won 4 races here so far. He's won 1 race, I think, in this next gen car, right? At Dover.
It's his only top 10 though.
Only top 10 in the next gen car.
No, yeah, they've only had 2 races, but
right. Oh, right. Because yeah, so he won the race in May, and then May of 2022 he finished 12th. 2021 he finished 19th, but I don't think they were in the new car in 2021. He's so good here, and I think he's like top 4 in terms of speed rank in the package. So yeah, I mean, Marty's going to be tough to deal with. I think you have to be on him. I don't even hate, like, I know that there were some like 7 to 1 numbers. That's probably a fair price for Marty at Dover. I think if you look at his whole career, 7 to 1 is probably fair.
Yeah, I think he should be 7 and Larson should be 6. I think that's where it should start.
Yeah, that feels right. Marty, I think you have to have a piece of him. The problem is, man, I think that there is a group of cars that could win this race, but I think they can all win this race. That's like, I think all 4 HMS cars can win this race. Marty can win this race. Chastain can win this race. Blaney can win this race. I'm interested to talk to you about the other Toyota guys besides Marty, because that's kind of where I've been stuck this week. Like, I guess we'll go through it as we get there. Then, Byron 7.5 to 1, and Chastain 7.5 to 1, and Denny all plus 750. You have to respect Byron; he's a beast. Chastain has been the second fastest guy in this car at this track in both races that they've raced here. So you ordinarily you don't see him at this price. I guess it's warranted. I guess. I mean, should he be 750? Probably not. Maybe he should be 10. But I mean, yeah, he's a major player. I think you got to take Chastain seriously. I think you got to take Byron seriously. Denny, I don't know. Interested to see what you think about Denny. But yeah, I'm in on Byron and Chastain this week for sure. Where are you at on those three guys?
Yeah, definitely Byron and Chastain. I think Denny should be 10-1. I don't think he deserves to be in those two.
Do you think the love? Do you think the love is just what he's done in the package in this car?
Yes, Dover hasn't been a tremendous track for him. He's been good here, solid, but not great. He called a shot on his podcast that he's going to win this week. So, that means he's not going to win. So we'll have to wait and see. But I don't think he deserves to be priced with Byron and Chastain.
Where in terms of backing Denny this week, like, and no interest?
I would rather back Joe Gibbs Racing than Denny.
Okay.
Because my same thoughts are the same with Chris Bell. Like, I mean, sure, he could win.
Would you rank those two guys right behind Marty for Toyota?
I think there's a gap between Marty and the rest of Toyota.
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at too.
Whereas I think the gap between Larson
and
Byron and Chastain is closer.
Yeah, but like I also think, like, don't you think that this week, when you consider that Alex Bowman has had success here, and with how good that Chase Elliott has looked lately, that like you can't leave them off the card this week, I don't think, if you're going to back Larson and Byron.
No, I mean HMS it's one of their best tracks.
Right.
I mean they've always been good here. Jimmy Johnson was incredible here. Byron was very strong. Elliott has a win here. It's on concrete. Elliott's very good on concrete. Bowman has a win here. Several top tens. Very good track for him. So, I think the gap between HMS and Gibbs is pretty substantial, to be quite honest with you, from a depth standpoint. So, I don't know. I like HMS and I would take Elliott and Bowman before I picked on Chris Bell to be on my card.
I agree with that. Milo says, win the race numbers. Love Denny this week. That's interesting.
That's because they're all about numbers. And he's been really fast. It just goes back to what you said.
In the package. Right.
In the package. He's been very good in the package. That's what it is. It's all about numbers when they, do their, stuff over there.
Yeah. All right. So we talked about Bell. After Bell, Blaney, Elliott are 12-1. Ryan Blaney, I think, is the one Ford that might be able to be competitive enough to hang with these guys. I don't know. To be honest, I could see myself not backing any Fords this week. But if I was going to rate Ford, he would definitely be at the top of the list. And I think I would probably have Buescher behind him. Where are you at? Any Ryan Blaney love this week?
Not really. I know it's a different car, but if you go back to this prior to this car, this is one of Brian Blaney's worst tracks. I think he has 3 career top 10s here. So he hasn't done good. And I'm sure some of that is bad luck, but I'm sure some of it is just not, and he just wasn't very good. So I have a tough time backing him individually.
Okay.
And I would probably say, Buescher would be behind him.
And then behind him, Berry, you think?
Keselowski and Berry, yeah.
Berry's been so good at this track, right, historically?
Yeah, but I'm not sold on Josh Berry.
As a driver?
Well, yeah. if you look at this track, like he's been in the best equipment possible. He's been in junior motorsports cars when they were really good, not like, the last year and a half or so. And he was in Alex Bowman's car, which we've already talked about, does very good here.
Mm-hmm.
So is it the car that he's been in, or is it Josh Berry?
Right.
I don't know. So I know there's a lot of people out there backing Josh Berry this week.
To win?
More top tens and stuff like that.
I mean, he's 50-1. I guess I get it.
Right. But if Josh Berry's not winning this race.
Yeah, I don't
either. But, I'm not sold on him. But I think, could he be the best Ford? Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, me too. Kind of where I'm at too. After him, Elliott, I like 12-1. Chase has looked. He's coming back into form, and now you have to take him seriously every week. People, new NASCAR fans, people that are like new to betting, they don't know like how good this guy is. Like if he really gets back into form, it's another Kyle Larson out on that fucking track almost. It really is. He's that good. So I'm in. I'm a believer now. I'm probably going to back him the remainder of the year unless we see him start going the other way again. But yeah, 12-1 seems fair, no?
Yeah, definitely we'll have some Chase Elliott some way, somehow.
After him, Ty Gibbs and Alex Bowman are 14-1. We talked about Bowman. I think you got to have a piece of him. I understand why you would like Ty Gibbs. I just can't. I can't do it, Coop. At 14-1, I gotta watch this kid get over the finish line if we're gonna pay 14-1.
Like, yeah, I can't bet him individually, but I would bet him with Joe Gibbs Racing.
What is the price on Gibbs?
Oh, it was like $1.90 when I bet it for golf.
$1.90. Okay.
Something like that.
Bowman, we talked about, very good here. HMS in general, very good here. Got to back him this week. If you're going to bet more than one or two people, I think he's got to be on your card. Chris Buescher, 18-1. Kyle Busch, 18-1. Tyler Reddick, 18-1. Tyler Reddick is interesting, Coop, because I think he's been the best car this year, probably, in this package. But he's not very good here, historically. So, like, I don't know how to quantify that really into, could he show up here because the car is the nuts? I guess. But, like, based on what he's done here, I can't bet him at 18-1. Where are you at with him?
Yeah, I mean, when I did my bets with golf, he was the one basically driver that I was unprotected from. Which, from a statistical standpoint of him doing well on the 1.5 miles and things of that nature is scary. But from a track history perspective, it's not scary. So,
Right.
I don't know. I just see, a lot of these long shots like him and Barry, Buescher, Keselowski, drivers that you can get at 20 or more. Like, I just don't know how they can beat 4 HMS cars.
And Marty. Yeah. And Chastain. It's tough. Yeah, it's going to be tough. I agree. Kyle Busch at 18-1 is a fucking joke. Listen, man, I love Kyle Busch. He's always going to be my favorite driver, always. But come on, man. Like, let's just call it what it is now. Like, RCR, Coop, they're putting lawnmowers out on the track. So, like, I mean, I'm at the point where I almost want to fade him in every matchup every week. Mm-hmm. Because that car is that bad. I don't think he has a fucking prayer. I think that number at 18-1 is just respect on his name and nothing more. Because if it was performance, he would be 60-1 this week. So I'm out on Kyle Busch. Chris Buescher, I just don't think he could win the race. So I'm out on him too. Where are you out on KB? KB's a joke, right? That number's a joke.
Yeah, it's tough to back him at that number based upon what he's done. His best races have been on the super speedways, which, you can say a lot for many drivers. That's where they've been best at this year, just because of the package that they're running. So it's just tough. It's just the equipment is not there. Either that or the people building the equipment, because supposedly they all have the same equipment. But I don't know, just something amiss from that team. Pit crew's been, not good either.
I'm with you. And then obviously you think Kez is a pass this week as well.
Yeah, I mean, I bet Ford with my golf to cover myself, from Ford. But, the number was good. It's like almost 3-1. So that was just there to cover, back to the, situation I'm in now where I don't have anybody I can't back, any of the Fords.
Well, that brings up Joey. Like, what do you think Joey's upside is this week? Like, maybe top 10?
Yeah. I mean, like Joey's like, it's just crazy, man. Like, his number's worse than Kyle Busch's.
Yeah.
But both of them have been like, why is Kyle Busch not his number other than his name?
Right.
Because Joey's been just as bad.
Yep.
Just as bad. Can't find, I think Joey's had better equipment though.
Right. That's not even.
Yeah,
I agree. That's not even debatable. I definitely think he's been in better equipment.
So just tough to back Logano.
Bubba Wallace 35-1. What do you think about Bubba this week? Pass. All right. After Bubba, we have Berry. We talked about Chase Briscoe. Chase Briscoe has been better this year in this package.
He's been good on. Yeah, he has been.
Yeah, but way better.
It's kind of surprising. It just shows you how analytical and how like numbers focused these people are, and like I know we are to a degree, but like I'm surprised more people are not backing Briscoe versus Berry.
I think that, I mean, when you look at what he did in the intermediate package,
I think if there was a head-to-head against him, I would take Briscoe.
I might too. For if the price was right. Because, it's night and day. When you look at what that kid did in the intermediate package last year to what he's done so far this year, he's been pretty solid, man. So I'm with you. Yeah, I'm with you. I do I think he could win? No. But I think he could run well.
So in order for one of these long shots to win, there needs to be like a 10 car pile up, either on the front stretch or back stretch. Because it could happen because they got that inside wall, But like that's the type of thing that needs to happen for some of these cars in the back to win.
Yeah, I'm with you. After him, there isn't anybody worth talking about. I don't think. Stenhouse is 80-1 on back. Are there any long shots that you think are worth talking about, like super long shots? No. All right, boys. To recap, Coop and I like all 4 HMS cars this weekend. We like Chastain. We like Marty. And I think That would be 6 cars right there. I don't know about what I keep getting hung up on, Coop, is like the rest of Toyota. That's like the piece I don't really know about this week. I don't
So like we're is all right. You know Marty's your number one Toyota.
for sure.
Is Byron in front of any of them, or behind any of them? Excuse me.
Behind any of those other Toyota, I don't think any HMS. You can make the argument this week that no HMS cars are behind anybody besides Marty. Like I don't think that there's any other Toyota I would take before I took Chase Elliott or Alex Bowman this week, besides Marty, right?
No, I mean, I think when you consider the numbers and everything, yeah, I would rather take Bowman at 18 or whatever he is, 16,
Right.
versus Denny at 7.5.
Yeah, for sure. I'm with you. All right. So HMS, Truex, Chastain is basically where we're at in terms of the outright market this week. We're going to take a 2-minute break and we'll be live on Patreon to break down every single betting market on Patreon for you guys. Real quick, Coop, before we go, the Xfinity race. What are your thoughts on the outright market for Xfinity?
I mean, I have 8 drivers, so I think it's going to be tough for anybody to beat Joe Gibbs or Junior Motorsports.
Okay. I saw Brandon. Who was it? Brandon Jones had like the fastest 10 lap.
Well, I think he did, yeah.
Something
But
like that.
Like Ryan Truex had 15, 20, 25 fastest lap.
He's fucking 2-1. I hope so.
But like, I got to question if his times are legitimate.
Why were they that much faster than everybody else?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So the data might be fucked up. What about Chandler Smith? He's live this week.
I would assume, yeah. I didn't watch any of the practice or anything.
I haven't watched it either yet.
So I'm just looked at the numbers. That was it. But I just find it hard for a non-junior motorsports or Joe Gibbs car to win this race.
Fair enough. I'll look closer at Xfinity tonight when I'm in bed. I'll watch practice. All right, boys. We'll be live in 2 minutes on Patreon. We're out later. Oh, reminder, tomorrow we're live from 1:30 to 11 p.m. on Patreon. Sunday, we'll be on the YouTube channel for the NASCAR Cup Series race at Dover. So we'll see you guys tomorrow at 1 p.m. We're out later.